Okay, so let's begin. Um, Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. My name is Ravish Hassan, and I'm the Associate Regional Marketing Director at Dun& Bradstreet, South Asia, Middle East, and Africa. I welcome you all to this webinar today with us on topic outsourcing without surprises, how agile delivery and data-driven transparency build lasting trust. We have Raisul Kabir. I shall dive into his introduction later. But just before we get into that, I just quickly wanted to run through the housekeeping items for this webinar. As you can see on your screen, all lines are muted by the organizer. Please submit your queries or concerns through the chat box window that you see on your screen. You can submit your questions through the Q&A box during the webinar, and I shall take those at the end. DNB shall share the webinar recording after the webinar for those of you who would like to have so. And please reach out to marketing@dnbsame.com in case if you'd like to speak to me or the speaker, or if you have any further questions. Okay, with that, I shall move on to our agenda items. So we shall be starting off with a brief introduction about the company, Dun & Bradstreet, and then I shall introduce the speaker. I shall hand off the screen sharing to the speaker so that he can go over his presentation. And then at the end, it'll be a brief intro about our DNB Bangladesh operations and our solution. And then at the end, we can take the Q&A. With that, we will close our presentation. A little bit about the speaker here. So I would like to introduce Raisul Kabir. Thank you, Raisul, for joining this webinar and agreeing to do it with us. Raisul has been with BrainStation 23 for about a decade now, more than a decade. He's the co-founder and CEO there with an experience about 20 plus years with the company. It's the leading global software solutions provider in the world, with a global footprint in 25 plus countries, providing solutions which are basically towards the banks, telecoms. It's a Fortune 500 company. Really excited to have you, Raisul. I know that your journey has been very, very interesting. Gone through the entire story of BrainStation, and I must definitely admire your journey from starting off with a very small company to building up a company of about 800 plus employees. Tremendous, I would say.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining today, and looking forward to your presentation, definitely. A little bit about me. I've been associated with Dun & Bradstreet for the past 4 years, four and a half years now. Been into the B2B marketing industry for about 12 plus years, and been looking after the South Asia, Middle East, and African markets for DNB Same. Moving on, I would like to introduce Dun & Bradstreet a little bit to those who are not aware. DNB is a global multinational company. We are the largest commercial database company in the world. We have a strong legacy for over 180 years of existence. We're headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, in US, globally, with 150K global client base, 120 million plus data linkages in our database that we have, and about 4 US past presidents have worked with us in the past, which is something to be really proud of. 600 million plus business records is what we have in our DNB database, with about 181 currencies, 95 languages, and 198 locations that we exist in. So this is entirely something that we're really proud of. It's a global company with a great history, and we definitely deal with data analytics. This is a global overview as to where do we have our offices globally as well as regionally. So globally, as you can see, we cover markets like North America, Europe, rest of Asia. But in the region, DNBC, which is South Asia, Middle East, and Africa region, our focus markets include where we are actually operational are Bahrain, Bangladesh, Ghana, Nigeria, Pakistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Tanzania. We started operations in the region in the year 2004. Our headquarters in the region is in Dubai, in the Dubai International Financial Center. And as I mentioned, we are basically within South Asia, Middle East, and Africa. We're spanning across 63 countries with offices within South Asia, 2, Middle East, 4, and Africa, 4. And this is entire, if you can see on the screen, our diversification that we've had over the years. Within Bangladesh, this is the company office location. As you can see on your screen, Dun & Bradstreet is known as Dun & Bradstreet Data Analytics Private Limited in Bangladesh. We started operations in 2021 and mainly through working with the banking industry really closely, and now we're expanding slowly and gradually. So I think that's something that we're really proud of. Why every corporate should be part of Dun & Bradstreet database. This is mainly around what we are here for, right? So we're known for the mainly with through the 9-digit DUNS number, the DUNS number, if you've heard of. It's basically your global recognition, recognizable number that we give to businesses to do business with another company, right? So if you want to do business with another company, stand out globally, that's where Dun & Bradstreet comes in. So we're known to provide such solutions and services to companies, and not just the DUNS number, but there are various other solutions that we provide, which cater to different companies to help them form credibility and trustworthiness, global visibility, access to funding and investment, business expansion, risk management, compliance and reporting, and supply chain inclusion. And all of this is achieved through our various line of businesses that you see here: risk management and compliance solutions, sales and marketing solutions, D&B consulting, which includes consulting services, credit bureau solutions, and financial technology solutions. Right, so from here, I would hand over the presentation to Raisul. Raisul, over to you. And let's look forward to your presentation. So I'm just gonna hand over the screen sharing rights to you. Let me know if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum and hello everybody. Good evening. Can you all see my screen clearly?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So, yeah. So I am Raisul Kabir. I am co-founder of Brain Station 23. Brain Station is like Ravish has already shared. We are 850 plus people company, and we are one of the largest in Bangladesh. So I graduated from BUET from electrical and electronics engineering, and I did my MBA from East West University. I also did Gen Certified Engineering, and as I started doing project management, I got myself PMP certified and certified as Scrum Master training also. So I am very lucky that I have seen a very interesting transition from starting from a small 4-member team, growing gradually to suppose 30-member team when I was managing the project managers to 100 people team to 300, now 850. So the transition has been very interesting and very enlightening. And I have been a board member yeah, and advisors in some startups and in universities and other organizations as industry, academia collaboration, and stuff like that. So this is a little bit about me. And other than this different engagements, so I will be sharing about Brain Station and the journey, how this has impacted one of the key aspect of the success I'll be sharing today. Yeah. So we have, as we started in 2006, we have 18 plus years of experience. We have completed a lot of projects and have been working in multiple countries. And with multiple tech partners. One of the things that we do is we work with tech partners in different countries where collaboratively we try to deliver. We have been working with different industries, for example, retail and e-commerce. In e-commerce, for enterprise grade e-commerce open source, we are globally recognized as number one vendor. And also we have experience working in pharma sector and IT augmentation or staff augmentation. This is our core area of expertise, and we have developed products in fintech. We are ISO 9001 certified, 27001, which is information and security certified, and CMMI level 3 appraised. A little bit about our fintech solutions. We have been working in fintech since 2013-14. So it has been 12 years now. We have started doing internet banking first, and then we did loan originations solutions for fintech startups, and then digital wallet and MFS and digital onboarding solution, cross-border payment solution. We have been working in all kinds of models for different clients about the fixed price projects, resource augmentation, as well as framework model, or if I may say, the retainer model, for example, maintaining and also doing new features and bug fixes with a combination of team, but engaged in shared model. So we have been working in different models there. So what we have seen, I mean, coming back to the point about the data and transparency, what we have seen is that the real pain, from the very beginning, from 2006, we have been outsourcing company, right? When we started in 2006, we were working with a Canadian company and a German company, then worked with different countries. So for outsourcing, it has been like 19 years of experience. In this 19 years of experience, we have seen that many outsourcing projects actually suffer for delayed delivery. So the common issues, from the very beginning in 2006, when we started with our Canadian client and also other clients, we have seen that there is a misunderstanding about the progress, that how much is the progress, the unclear progress, and miscommunication. Miscommunication about different things. And then the deadline is shifted, low visibility from the client side, and poor alignment with goals. So for example, we are doing something, and we are doing a lot of hard work and trying to deliver. But how does the client get aligned? Sometimes what happens is that the project manager is communicating the progress, but that sometimes does not create full visibility with the client. So this unclear progress and miscommunication creates a lot of frustration with the clients, stuff like that. And we have seen over the years how clients actually suffer in outsourcing. And over the years, we have been able to solve the problem. And that is something that we want to share in today's webinar. So here is a poll that what is the biggest challenge if you have worked with outsourcing team locally or globally? What is the biggest problem that you have seen? So these are the options that lack of visibility, missed deadline, poor communication, quality issues, or maybe you have not outsourced yet. So it's a poll. I would invite members to vote on the polls.
So you must see the poll on your screens. We'll give some time for you all to respond. Okay, can we showcase the results?
Yeah, sure. So as we see that some participants have not done outsourcing, but poor communication and misalignment is one of the biggest challenge. So this poor communication and misalignment is truly one of the biggest challenge for outsourcing that I have also seen in my experience. Of course, then there are some lack of visibility into progress and missed deadlines. But poor communication and misalignment is truly one of the biggest challenge. So there, so client actually wants this predictability that what will be delivered by when, and client wants to have the control. Of course, it can happen that client asks something and then after some time changes the requirement. A new feature might be requested, stuff like that. But client wants the control over it, and clients wants a visibility that what is being done, so that this visibility actually gives a sense of control and predictability as well. And of course, the reliable delivery, that the quality is excellent, and alignment with business value, as in the most important values are being delivered in the projects. See, one of the things that we have found is that there is always some purpose of the application that we are building. So the core purpose has to be served. So that is the business value that delivers the core purpose. And then there are some side items. So sometimes we get bogged down into the side items, and that creates some confusion with the client and also the delivery team. Small features that sometimes take a lot of time to develop, but does not add a lot of business value. On the other hand, it might be that so that is why it is critically important that when we are delivering the business value, I mean, when we are delivering the software, then focusing on the business value, that what value does it deliver to the client. So this is what we have seen commonly when client wants what client wants when they are outsourcing. Especially the visibility is a critical part of this. So lack of delivering this actually creates some challenges. So the volcano erupts. Ad hoc tracking, as in sometimes we see that a client would be sending the requirement over emails, or the team is doing the communication over emails, but not tracking it properly in a proper manner with Scrum or Kanban process. Rather, this is ad hoc based development happening. And then sometimes what happens is the requirement is not very clear. Requirement is not very clear, as in all the aspects of the requirements has not been discussed with the total team. When the total team sits together, a lot of aspects come, and team can ask relevant questions. Sometimes, for example, it can happen that client would ask that this is a simple API integration, and would ask to do the API integration. When there is the subject matter expert, and when there are multiple team members involved, then then they can ask question that what kind of traceability is needed for the API integration. What happens if the API is called multiple times? What happens if there is a attack on the API side? How the attack is prevented? How the things are reconciled? A lot of other aspects needs to be discussed, and this creates confusion with the client and the development team, because of course the client would not always think about all the side effects of implementing a simple API or a simple feature, what kind of side effects it can create, because it can happen that one feature creates a lot of confusion and a lot of other features are coming out from a simple feature requirements. So all these things has to be actually thought about. If you think about the simple like feature in Facebook, what happens is if somebody clicks the like button, then it it needs to have the feature that somebody if presses for certain amount of time, then multiple kind of like buttons, for example other react buttons appears. And also then there has to be some facility to cancel it. There has to be some facility to store the data on the server side. And when it is distributed among large number of servers, then how the information transfers to other servers. Sometimes we would see that, I mean, in Facebook, that the like is not updated in all the frames at the same time, right? So different kind of aspects needs to be considered, discussed with just simple feature like button. So and then that creates different delivery discrepancy, and sometimes this is a general phenomena all over the world, that a feature delivery can break some other features. So this needs to be continuously tested from all the aspects. And with all these things, the developer frustration also grows when the client expectation is not being met, as in when there is the ad hoc tracking. Because, for example, when we see sometimes that client would be asking for like 100 features, and the developer or the development team sometimes without creating a proper plan starts delivery. So when the team is doing a lot of delivery, then the team is working very hard and trying to make the client very happy. But when they're trying to make the client very happy, after certain time when the developer shows the features, the client is thinking that, hey, only 5 features are being shown, but I have explained 95 features. Maybe multiple of those features are not, requirements are not clearly defined. So the requirement clarification needs to be done. But if the requirement is fully defined, if the requirement is like finalized with the client, then what happens is that the requirement finalization takes a lot of time, but the client needs to start seeing delivery quickly. So this kind of continuous tension creates frustration with the customer, as well as creates frustration with the developer. So there we have found is that transparency is extremely helpful for creating the trust and creating the happiness. So with transparency, the data and visibility reduces anxiety. When the client can see the data, that what is being done, and visibility, that what are the features being worked on, that creates a trust and reduces anxiety. So we have seen that trust is equal to the delivery, the communication, and accountability. What we are delivering and how we are communicating with transparency, and we are having clear accountability, that what things we will deliver and what things client would deliver, because client also has to deliver certain things. For example, client also has to work on the future requirements and crystallize the requirements for the future delivery, stuff like that. So that kind of accountability and communication creates the trust between the both team, and aligning the expectations from day one, that what will be delivered by when, stuff like that. So there we have found one approach that has created a higher happiness with the client, which is the agile way, the Scrum way, and the data sharing. So with agility comes the speed and flexibility. Agility, as in, as we know, the agile principles and agile values, that delivery of software over contract negotiation and embracing change, stuff like that. And in agile way, we can start working on delivery and deliver the features faster, as well as give flexibility to the client. Because if we go with traditional approach, that we want to log the client will with all the requirements, with all the SRS for the entire projects, that reduces the speed and that reduces the flexibility. And of course, client needs the speed and flexibility, because everybody needs things done and features launched very fast. So we cannot say that, hey, all the requirements has to be frozen before starting the development and stuff like that. So in agile way, we have found that Scrum is a better way than other processes most of the time. Of course, it is not for all the projects. Sometimes we use Kanban on other for some projects where necessary, we do waterfall as well. But for most of the projects, we found that Scrum is the better way for delivery. And having tools and dashboards creates the trust and visibility with the client. So I'm sure you all know about Scrum process, but the value that Scrum process delivers, and how it creates trust and creates customer happiness. This is something that is that I have found to be very interesting. So there, what happens is that here we have a product owner, which is the client, and generally a client is the product owner, or we would assign somebody as product owner and explain things. And then we have, or sometimes we would engage our people, but we would bring client also in the meeting. And then we have our team and Scrum Masters. The client and product owner and the team together defines the product backlog. And in the product backlog, all the features are there. However, all the features are not required to be documented and finalized. Depending on the project, some projects would have everything written down and finalized, but for most of the projects, the items that we would be doing in this sprint or next sprint are finalized. And then we would do the sprint planning, where we would finalize that what are the features we would be working on in this 2 weeks sprint. Generally, the sprints are 2 weeks. As in some situation, it's a 1 week sprint as well. In this sprint planning meeting, our client is present, so that the client can answer questions and client can see the estimation. So when the client can see the estimation, client can see the clarify the requirements, the team can the team can ask questions, team can ask different aspects of the situation. That creates the clarity of the requirements to the farthest. So the client and the development team comes in the same page. So this sprint work, although this sounds like a very simple thing, but we have seen that how doing this simple sprint planning creates a lot of visibility, a lot of trust, and a lot of happiness for our clients. So then the sprint backlog is defined, that which are the features we would deliver by 2 weeks time. So then after we start the sprint from the sprint backlog, then we have the daily scrum where the team is getting aligned, and then after 2 weeks there is the potentially shippable product increment, that the products are live and everything. Live as in live in the UAT environment, as in the testing environment, stuff like that. And then there is the sprint review meeting where we show, our development team shows the product owner and the client that what are the features we have prepared. So we would show the demo and everything to the client. And the total team would be showing it. So this creates high trust and high visibility. So traditionally what happens is the project manager goes to the client and shows their demo. But instead of that, in the sprint review, the total team is present. So if the client is getting frustrated, the team also becomes, the team sees it and understand that what kind of expectation the client has, because of course different clients have different expectations. So when the sprint review is together with the client, then this creates higher level of cultural alignment, higher level of trust, everything. So with the traditional approach where project managers becomes the bridge between the development team and the client, in this Scrum process, it is better or more visibility and more transparency, because the client sees that these features has taken this much amount of time, these teams are working on these things, stuff like that. And then, of course, there is the retrospective. In this retrospective, we discuss that what makes the client happy or what makes the client unhappy, stuff like that. So with this, কিছু লাগবে তোমার? তুমি meeting এ একটু কি তুমি যাওয়া? So what creates the client, what makes the client happy, or how the features are delivered, if it creates any problem, or what kind of alignment is needed, what kind of bugs are coming, so that we can improve. So this kind of improvement planning is done in this retrospective meeting inside the team. The team can sometimes bring external experts as well to improve the retrospective. So this is kind of in a nutshell about the Scrum process. One very important aspect is the product backlog refinement meeting. In this product backlog refinement meeting, our team would sit with the client and plan for the future items of the product backlog. So these future items of the product backlog, clarifying these future items actually brings more alignment with the team. So with this total process, we have seen that the client satisfaction increases heavily, because the client sees what is happening, and there is higher level of trust. And also the developer frustration is reduced, because the estimations are done properly and the estimations are visible from both sides. So a couple of interesting aspect here. Instead of project manager burdening the team that, hey, you have to deliver this impossible target, the team is properly collaborating, so there is less burnout. And with the product backlog estimation being done in the product backlog refinement meeting, the delivery milestones are properly updated. So then there can be open and clear communication that we are saying that we need to reduce some features so that we can deliver things faster. or we can deliver things faster, or whether we need to reduce some items so that we can deliver the core features, the most valuable items on time. So the core value focus is actually ensured with this product backlog refinement meeting and this clear, transparent way of communication. So these are the things that we have explained: the sprint planning and estimation, how we do it with transparency, with the client being present. So that creates a trust, and the daily stand-ups, the bi-weekly demo with the and also retrospective, the backlog grooming with the client input. So here we use some tools. For example, we use Jira or Trello or Azure DevOps in order to in order to bring clarity with the client that what are the items being worked on and stuff like that. So client knows, client has clear visibility, and we have seen that sometimes. When there is this clear visibility is absent, then what happens is that the project manager will be saying for other competitors that, hey, we have worked on a lot of items, but actually how much items are being worked on, the client does not see. But with our system, with client having visibility with Jira, Trello, or Azure DevOps, based on the client preference, because some clients prefer Jira, some clients prefer Trello or Azure DevOps. So this creates a higher visibility. And then shared this dashboard and real-time client access creates no surprises. Uh, so since we have been working with different countries, we have clients in USA. We have around 20% of our revenue from USA, and around 25 to 30% revenue coming from Europe. We have seen that different countries have different expectation. For example, Japanese clients have different way of communicating, a different way of expectation than US client or European clients. So this cultural awareness and experience actually helps us with the way of work. Because we have, for example, we have seen that European clients generally would prefer to do a lot of planning and absolutely zero missed deadline. So if that requires higher buffer time, that is acceptable with the client generally. But then there are other clients who would expect that if let us move fast and break things, that okay, a lot of new features has to be released start, because for example, when startups are working, it is more important that most valuable features are launched, even if the deadline is flexible to some extent, because startups does not have board to answer that, hey, generally speaking, not always, but different clients have different expectations. So this cultural awareness actually helps us meet the expectation better. And also, of course, we do the time zone overlap because US clients, the Eastern time zone, we have overlapping time at night that we have, so that we can do the daily stand-up and the sprint planning meeting properly with the client being in the same call, stuff like that. And the clear communication and dedicated contact person, this reduces the gap of data and visibility. And when we are delivering the highest value, in the backlog grooming meeting, this is critically important that we prioritize the backlog properly. And we prioritize backlog based on the business impact, that which items creates the biggest impact. And we focus on building the solution, not just features, as in because it can happen that some feature has low business impact and some features has high business impact. Discussing with the client in the backlog grooming meeting actually reduces reduces the gap of here. So if you do already outsourcing, we would like to know that how often do you receive measurable update from your outsourced project progress, daily, weekly, only in milestones, or rarely or not applicable?
We'll give some time to the poll. Getting some responses now. Okay, let's showcase the results. 29% weekly summary reports, not applicable, 33% result.
Yeah. So this is really nice that for many of the participants it's daily, and then a weekly summary report is also for many participants. So yeah, this weekly and daily actually helps a lot. Of course, milestones are important, and for higher up stakeholders, milestones are very important. But for the product owner and the client contact person and the team, the daily and weekly communication is the best way. So here I would like to share one case study for a Swiss startup. So what we found is that for this Swiss startup, the client was very frustrated because of missed deadline and miscommunication, as in when the client is explaining a lot of features, the client is expecting that all the features will be done. Also client, I mean, it's not that client is expecting that all the features will be done, but expecting that a lot of features will be done. But after a certain time, when the developer is showing the features, the client is getting frustrated that, hey, some things are misunderstood and some things are not done on time. So then we implemented the agile and scrum process. This created a lot faster delivery. So it sometimes creates confusion that, hey, if we do scrum process, then we have daily stand up, sprint planning, all and the backlog grooming, and all these meetings takes a lot of time. But practically these meetings are so well organized that it actually ensures the delivery faster, because we are not asking for all the features during implementation. Rather, the features are clubbed together and the requirements are being clarified in the sprint planning, and in chunks the features are being delivered. So this actually creates more faster delivery, and also of course the satisfaction was way higher, because we are clearly communicating what will be delivered in 1 week time or 2 week time, and this is properly estimated instead of being forced from the client. Because it can happen that client is forcing that, hey, I need a delivery in 1 week time. And when we are doing a sprint planning and estimation, and we can say that, hey, we these are the estimations, so in 1 week time these are the 5 features which can be delivered. We cannot deliver all the 10 features. Then the client can decide that out of the 5 features, maybe drop 2 less important features and bring 2 more important features. So yes, still 5 features are being delivered, but the most important 5 features are delivered. And and after 1 week, the project is live with the most important 5 features. The client is happy, and also the delivery team is happy. The delivery team is not burnt out. So this is what happened for our Swiss startup, and also the same thing happened for another US client who was working with who was in the laboratory testing, that soil testing and different kind of chemical testing facility in USA. So they were working with another vendor where it was ad hoc based communication with email and everything. But we implemented the Scrum process. The client was so happy with our process that they appreciated us. And so this actually happened for many of our projects. What happens is that sometimes the outsourcing vendor like ourselves, we are afraid that, hey, if we become completely transparent. And if we fail the delivery, then what will happen? Fail the delivery as in we estimated something to be in 2 days, but if something takes 4 days, then what happens? But when we create full transparency, then the trust is born. And with this trust, creates the satisfaction of the client and also satisfaction of the developer. So this is something very interesting, where DNB comes into play. That what happens is, sometimes some vendors would say that, hey, we are a large company or we are small company, and the communication, I mean, somebody would highlight wrong numbers, that suppose a 10% team would simulate that we are 100% team or stuff like that. So but with a DNB, when a third party is actually coming in and verifying the data, then the risk is reduced, the business verification is done, then that yes, this is this is the company that the company claims to be, and this is a right sized company, for whether it is a right sized company for the vendor, yeah, for the client, stuff like that. So this business verification creates a lot of trust with the client. So this reduces the trust and sorry, this reduces the risk, and this creates the visibility with credibility. So that's how we see that transactional working with the client, instead of being transactional, this becomes a transformational partnership. So working in this complete transparent manner and complete clear communication with visibility, we have seen that we have been working with clients for 19 years. Our first client in 2006, which was from Canada, they are still working with us into 2025. So 19 years this has been working. So this transparency and data visibility creates from transactional relationship to transformational partnership based relationship with our client. So there, for brain station side, call to action, if you want to try a pilot project with us, we will be happy to provide that. We can you can contact us, connect with our team, and we would be happy to do a agile maturity assessment with our experienced team. So the final takeaway is that the visibility, we have this fear that visibility is kind of vulnerability, but actually this visibility and vulnerability builds the trust. And we see that agile process creates the structure for proper visibility, and which actually builds trust higher. So we have seen that collaboration is more important than control, that controlling the client with requirements and lot of sign off and everything, more than that, collaboration is creates more trust. And outsourcing is not always risk. Rather, outsourcing with proper visibility, with the total team access, reduces the risk. Outsourcing is not equal to risk. So that is all from my side. I would like to transfer it to Ravish now. Ravish, over to you.
Thank you. I will just quickly move towards the presentation. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please drop in your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll be taking those shortly. Okay, so we're towards the end of the presentation, but before we end, I would like to briefly cover up our solution. Like as Russell mentioned, that credibility increases partnership, visibility, that sort of transactional, partnership is there with your clients. So if you would like to um, form that sort of relationship with your existing clients or prospects in the future, you can reach out to us. We have this DUNS registered seal solution, which is mainly a seal of credibility that you can put it up on your website, on your business documents, on your collaterals, on your signatures. And there's a QR code which actually leads up to the DNB verified profile, as you can see on your screen. With that, you get some of the additional benefits, like the DUNS number, which is again your passport to credibility. It actually makes you visible. It's your identification number, basically the business's identification number, by Dun& Bradstreet. And then you also get a DNB certificate along with that, right? So all of these things, you can contact our sales teams, and they can actually provide you more consultation around this. With that, I would take the questions, and the first question that we have is, I'll just go through. Just give me 1 second.
Shall I go over the questions?
Yeah, I'm just going through the first one.
Yeah, so I can go through. So one question in the webinar chat box is that milestones are achievements. How can it be weekly? From Shobik and Shobik Mujumdar. So what I tried there is that the visibility is weekly, but of course the milestones are not weekly. Generally speaking, I mean, it varies project to project, size to size, client to clients, and expectation from client. But generally, we would prefer milestones to be monthly. So one milestone would have two sprints. Each sprint is like 2 weeks long. So that's so one milestone having two sprints. And but however, the weekly visibility, as in the burn down chart, is visible with the client and everything. And in the question answer chat box, one question was, how do we estimate the size of software or any application module, or do we follow any standard model or historical judgment? So mostly judgment, because what happens is the team, as human, when we are thinking, we think with different aspects. So judgment based estimation delivers the value good enough, because the team has a combination of team members. So with the proper team, the judgment works out well. For some of the projects, clients prefer planning poker, or then there is the Fibonacci number based estimation. Different teams prefer different way, and we are, or as organization, we do not force on any way of work.
Right.
So
There's
one.
another one here. My small game development team is currently struggling with a limited client base. How can we effectively brand and showcase our capabilities to a wider audience, given our limited budget?
Yeah.
So,
So this is a little larger question, so it would
yeah.
be difficult to answer in this context. I would be happy to answer, but since this is not part of this webinar, I think that I would like to skip it. I think that take ChatGPT as your coach here. I would share.
More than that, Russell, more than that, I mean, from a DNB perspective, I would suggest that you reach out, because we have some really good solutions to help you out with the branding bit.
Yeah,
Just the way I showcase DRS, right? So
sure, sure.
feel free to reach
And
out.
next question also is for you, Ravish.
Yes, what is the cost for the seal? Again, I would divert these questions to the to the sales team, right? So you can reach out to us after the webinar and we can consult you on this.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that this seal is very important, and we would be also adding this shortly. We are also DNB, a DNB weighted company, and our clients sometimes get information about ourselves from this. Yeah. Uh, So next question, email marketing and referral both works. Referrals are, of course, the best way and the fastest way to open the door. Email marketing also works. You can check out instantly.ai. Um, uh,
Again,
so
how DNB membership or DUNS number can potentially give an IT firm a head start. Redirecting this to the sales team, to DNB Bangladesh. So again, you can reach out to us after the webinar.
yeah. And I would like to add there that the next question, how DNB membership or dance number can potentially give IT firm a head start with trust issue. What happens is that when I, as Raisul Kabir or Brain Station sales marketing team, when we say that we are a 850 people company, why would you believe, or why would a client believe? If we say that we are a mid-large company and we can deliver your project, you can rely on us. We started in 2006. Why would somebody believe? But when we say that we are a reliable company running for 19 years, large company, and you can verify our data with a DNB, then client thinks that okay, DNB is an international company and they have data of so many millions of companies, so they would not lie for Brain Station, and they would ask DNB that share us the data. Then that actually creates the trust with the client. So that is how DNB membership and DNB number potentially gives an IT firm the head start with the trust issue. And the next question, I'm in Pakistan. Do you have office here? I'm afraid we do not have office in Pakistan.
We have an
Uh,
office in Pakistan, yes.
oh, sorry,
Yes.
sorry. Sorry. I was thinking the question is toward me. Yeah, DNB has office in
For
Pakistan.
DNB, yes, DNB.
Yes. For DNB, yes. For Brain Station. So yeah, I'm sorry about the misunderstanding.
No
And
worries.
I want to work in Upwork, and let's say with I worked in pre I'm afraid we have not worked in Upwork much. I mean, we have worked in freelancing side in the starting of our career, like in 2005, 2006, 7, 8. But the latest processes, I'm not so much familiar with. When I was doing the freelancing at the beginning, what I would do is when I am bidding for some project, I would complete the most complicated part of the project, and I mean, I would bid very quickly when the project comes, and then after that, I would make the most complex part of the software, and I would submit that most complex part of the software to prove that we have the capability to deliver, and that used to generate like 30% success. Of us, but I do not know how it is done in the latest times. Uh, so
Okay. So if we have any more questions, please feel free to ask. We do have a couple of minutes left.
So I see that in chat box, two more questions. So one is that what are the essential steps for someone looking to start a software outsourcing company in Bangladesh? I would say that maybe start with your connections, with your referrals and freelancing side, and gradually try to get more work and hire more people, stuff like that. So that can be one way. If you are already expert, and for example, when we started Brain Station in 2006, I was already 6 years experience, because during my university time I was working part-time in different companies and doing freelancing in different companies. So when we started Brain Station, I already had a number of years of experience. Sorry. So, for startup companies, what is the main initiative we should follow? So this is a little bit vague, so I'm afraid I do not know the answer here. I'm sure that more than me, ChatGPT can answer better. And I guess,
Or you can
yeah,
reach out to
yes,
Dun and Bradstreet,
yeah.
because that's where the entire thing starts off, right? Because um, we're here for the startups, we're here for the mid-sized companies. So feel free to reach out if you would like any consultation around this, and we'll be happy to discuss. Okay, so I would like to end the session with this. If you have any further questions, queries, please write to us at info_dbda@dnbsame.com.bd. Anything related to the webinar, you can send it across at marketing@dnbsame.com, and you can reach out to the marketing team with that ID. You can see our office location in front of your screen, right? Our website is www.dnbsame.com. Feel free to check. And reach out accordingly. With that, I would like to end this webinar, and thank you so much, Raisul, for being part of this. It was amazing having you as a speaker. I am pretty sure that the audiences would have loved the entire journey that you've gone through, and your presentation as well. And we should definitely do future webinars with you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Ravi, for the nice moderation and the session. I really appreciate DNB for arranging the session, and thanks to all the participants for the amazing questions. Wishing everybody success. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Take care.